Alright guys, so Mountain Man PCB Bushcraft here. We're doing jerky tonight. So, here's what I got cut up already. This is the rest of it. I didn't get as much out of this tray that I bought here as I'd hoped. But, you know, that's how it goes. Here comes my dog. What you want to do is you want to get as much of this fat off of here as possible. Because it makes it take a lot longer when it's in the smoker, which, you know, if you want to sit out there forever, that's fine, but even when it is done, it'll still be kind of greasy, and you'll have drips, and it'll be on fire while it's in there. So yeah, and change this around so you can see it, and just kind of pick it up, kind of like you're skinning a deer, and cut it off. You have to have a sharper knife. This is my Gerber Gator. Performing pretty well. I do disagree though, this is not an all texture grip handle thing. It's greasy and it's just no good. Just doing just fine though. I'm gonna use a tip to drag that out. Some people say you don't have to have all the fat off of it, but you know, I kind of like it a little bit drier. So I'll finish doing this, then I'll get back with you. Alright guys, I got my meat all cut up there in the bowl. Not a whole lot. There's some of the fat I cut off and a couple pieces of meat that were just not good size to use. So one thing I forgot to mention, you don't want to go too thick. I think this is probably about max thickness right there. It's about a little bit more than a 1/4 inch, I'd say. I think 1/4 inch is probably prime. So what you're going to need for this inside portion here is dill weed. Got some teriyaki sauce made up. Now if you don't want to go through all this other stuff, you can buy this mix pre-made, but I always use some of this stuff over here to go with it, because that's just how I like it. You get the dry rub and the wet stuff in there, it just works out better. So, anyway, since I had to make the teriyaki sauce, I'm going to have to use all of it, and you just dump it in. It's actually a lot more than I usually use, but whatever. So I'm just putting stuff in the sink over here. You got this in here. Take your hand, mix it up. Only use one hand so you can use the other one to open up the other stuff. I forgot to open the bag beforehand, so I'm going to have to wash this one. You see the fat on there on that one. You can't get it all off. Ideally you want this right here, but you know, it'll work out fine still. Take the dough weed, pop it open, and I don't use a shaker, use the pour part. Just kind of add it. Can't really tell you just until you think it looks right. And mix it in there. So I'll finish this and I'll cut you back on. Alright, I got that done. Naturally, I'd get a video going. Everybody wants to come downstairs and start making noise. So, anyway, next you're going to take this mix if you want to. You can get this at like Walmart, Fred Meyer. I'm just going to add this. I usually go about 2 spoonfuls. It's not going to be overpowering because what the meat doesn't soak up is going to get drained off. Now, sometimes I'll add a little bit of vinegar, so I'll show that. Let me go grab some. Alright, I got red wine vinegar here. Just about that much. Not a whole lot of it. And maybe a little more. It's about all you need. So, now you're just going to take it with your hands. I don't really want to use my hands in this. Just trying to do the camera at the same time. Here we go, making noises again. Sorry about that.
Okay, do you want me to put in a different one?
Just kind of stir it up. Not because I got to do the camera and whatnot. I don't really want to use my hands. I don't understand why everybody's completely silent until I start doing a video. Move the tripod up a little bit. Now if it starts clumping up like that, you have to use your hand. Get it all balled up, just kind of squish those out in your hand. Now what you're going to notice is as you start doing this membrane fat stuff is going to start trying to separate from the lean meat. You're going to want to probably cut that off of there. I won't show that on camera just because it's kind of a boring, difficult, hard process because it's kind of slippery. But so anyway, just get this all mixed up and then we'll go out to the garage and we'll film the materials you're going to need outside. I won't be able to smoke it tonight because it's too late, but first thing tomorrow morning I'll get up and get this going. So I'll get you back on. Alright, I got it all mixed up. I got that gooey fatty part cut off. Now you're going to tear you some cling wrap. You're going to put that over the bowl. Just like so. I just don't want anything falling in there because it's going to be in the refrigerator. I let mine soak overnight. The box this stuff comes with says I think it says 2 to 4 hours. I've done it, just put it in there, 30 minutes, enough time to get the coals going, and I just stuck it in the smoker then. But it's kind of your choice. There's no exact directions or recipe for this. Make sure everything's all incorporated. Check the bottom. Now that you've done this all, you have a huge mess to clean up. I've got stuff over here, it's the cling wrap. A couple of knives, some powders, towel. I had music going on the iPod. And there's the sink. So, I'll clean this up and I'll go out in the garage and I'll show you what you need. Alright, here's what you're going to need outside. You're also still going to need those toothpicks. I haven't gotten to using those yet. You're going to use those to hang the meat. But, we already showed those in the inside thing. So, first off, you're going to want some of these mesquite, or whatever flavor you want. These smoking chips. I add a little bit of water to mine. Just enough to get it moist. I'm going to add a little bit more before I go to bed tonight. These briquettes right here, these are made specially for smoking. These are mesquite ones. I also have this canned flavor wood stuff in mesquite. I use this the last hour to kind of finish it off and get as much of the flavor in there as I can. You're going to need some charcoal starter. Probably going to want something to light it with too. Here, I'll throw that out there. Stick lighter. I fixed my lighter problem, by the way. Bought a couple of these. And I got some Zippo fluid. These are regular charcoals. You can use those too. I use those for my Dutch oven. But the difference is the mesquite ones have these bits of wood in them. These other ones, they don't. That's why I use these for smoking. It takes a long time, so you're probably going to want something to drink, and a snack, maybe a movie to watch. You're going to have to keep going out there to check on it. Now, last but not least, obviously, you're going to need a smoker. I guess you could just do it on a fire, just the coals, and throw your wood chips on, or you could go out and find some mesquite or apple wood, hickory to do it on. But we don't have trees like that around here, so I have to buy the hardwood. Absolutely do not use any softwoods like cottonwood, cedar, pine. Especially don't use pine. You use softwoods, it gets tarry. Use pine, you might as well use it to pave a road. I have a really old smoker, which you'll see tomorrow. You could weld something together to kind of go around some coals from either a fire you started beforehand or some of these briquettes. You could put it on racks, kind of like the Indians used to do. But it's much more efficient if you have a smoker because you'll get more of the smoke into the meat and it tends to go a little bit faster. So that's how we'll do it. I'm going to go get this put together, and I guess we'll do part 2. We'll be outside tomorrow smoking it. So
alright,
thanks
guys,
for watching.
Jerky's in there. Got my makeshift windscreen up here. I don't really want to open it up and show you inside right now. In the end, I'm sure I will. But it's smoking nicely, so I'm going to let it go pretty much all day. We'll check back